underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 169. I'm your host, Greg Miller, alongside the returning, rambling, always a PlayStation 3 fanboy, never an Xbot, Ryan Clements.
Yes, thank you. I'm still here. Yes.
Do you have your 1 minute thing you want to insert?
Let's go around.
Oh, you said after your introduction? All right. The man formerly known as the Guides Guru, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
More on his name's coming up. And making a long-awaited return to the podcast, the one and only Sam Bishop. Come on.
What's up, guys?
There he is. PlayStation.com, Sam Bishop.
The Bishop. All right.
Sam Bishop here, he is an expert on Little Big Planet 2. And we will be talking quite a bit about that in the coming moments. But first, Ryan Clements has some things to say.
As you guys may or may not know, I was gone for the podcast for a little while. You know,
We call them the glory days.
I called it a holiday as I had to travel back to the East Coast to see my family. Now, a lot of people thought that I was gone, and because of some things that were said by some of my fellow members here, people really believed it. People really thought. I got a lot of Facebook messages, a lot of now eventually when I clarified several times, you know, it turned into oh, okay, he is fine, he'll be coming back. But people now people are joking. Now people are saying, you know, Xbot. They're calling me all these things. So I've prepared something. I'm going to stand for it.
He's standing up.
I
Oh,
stand for
gosh.
it. Let me get into the right pocket.
Is there a crib sheet coming out? Yes, there is. He's got a written statement from the desk of Ryan Clements.
I have a written statement, which I would now like to read to you gentlemen, and most importantly, to the listeners.
Oh, wait a minute.
You ready?
Yeah.
Fie, you filthy, treacherous unbelievers, a curse upon those that would think in their invincible insolence that I would leave this sacred house and fraternize with the true enemy. Forsake the roof which sheltered me from the storm. Fie, I say, in your infinite madness you made your claims, scoffing at my apparent betrayal as you nested in the wanton arms of false confidence, unknowing of the machinations that turned, nay, careened towards my inevitable reinstatement in this most holy of councils. I say to you, fools without character, behold, here I stand while you spin and fall, plummeting into the depths of the rancorous, festering pit that once spawned the mindless parasites you call your predecessors. Crawl back into the dark and stay, writhe in shame and rot, knowing of the greatness I will achieve, which forever eclipses the foul stench of your incompetence. I'm back. Hey.
Damn!
I will never forget that part in Armageddon when Ben Affleck says all that to Bruce Willis. By far my favorite part of that film.
Oh, yes, the infamous soliloquy from, yes.
On the moon or the crater or the asteroid or whatever.
They
about
went to something.
Yeah, they got off the planet. That was the most important thing. Welcome back, Ron.
Thanks.
Welcome back, Sam. It's good to have the whole crew back, ready to go. Did you have a nice holiday while you were gone?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Okay, good.
Love seeing my family. Love seeing everybody. It was good.
Colin.
Yeah.
It's 2011.
It is.
Officially now. So
Yeah.
now you are officially, it's over. You've moved desks. You're officially editorial. All said editorial. We need a new name for you, as people
Yeah.
remember. You've been the Guides Guru forever. There's been a lot of talk about what we call you now. So obviously we started today with the man formerly known as Guides Guru. That's a popular one. Let's run through some stuff we have here.
Okay.
Emmanuel chimes in with the editorial enigma.
Yeah. No, I want to say before we go on that I'm going to let you guys pick the name. I can't pick my own name.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, I think we should narrow it down eventually to some ones we like and then put in a poll maybe on
Okay.
an upcoming episode of Beyond.
Okay.
Also, Emmanuel, he got to lead this off because he chimes in, P.S. There is no way Colin will ever catch Greg in trophy level as it stands on January the 2nd, 2011. Greg has a 40% lead.
Oh.
That is daunting, Colin.
It is at the level we're at for sure.
All right, so here come the rest of the names. Pundit of Platinum. You like that one?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I like that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
put a
We'll put a star
check
by that
next
one.
to that. Yeah, there you go.
That's from FBK_03. The real life Mega Man.
No.
No, that's no good. The PlayStation Paragon.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll put a star next to
That's
that.
Murphy. The historian of IGN's Hallowed Halls.
A little too long.
Yeah, a little,
Okay,
yeah, a
all
little
right.
lengthy.
The Myriad Master.
Nah, it's really Mark Ryan.
Lots of plays on Myriad, by the way. Lots of plays on Myriad. He only does everything, Colin Moriarty.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
That was
so
Joe.
far, yeah.
Okay. Professor Moriarty.
Yeah, that's from Sherlock Holmes. I get that all the time, though.
All right, we won't do that.
Yeah.
The historic Houdini.
Nah.
No, okay. The political powerhouse.
Yeah. All right, put a star next to it.
All right. We already had the PlayStation Professor. Now they're combining some stuff.
Yeah.
I already crossed it off. So
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
I don't know why I did that, but I have. The historical head honcho.
No.
The editorial Eeyore.
Igor.
Igor is even better.
Yeah,
Eeyore.
they're both pretty
Eeyore
insulting.
you can't use because what's his face?
That's Arthur.
Yeah.
What's his face?
The conversational Colin Moriarty
No, because this is a conversational podcast. That's
and the
redundant.
games guru from Ivan.
No.
No, okay. So then we have 4 nominees here: the Pundit of Platinum, the PlayStation Paragon. He only does everything. The political powerhouse.
I love he only does
Okay, yeah,
everything.
we'll leave those for now.
All right.
We'll let them choose.
I think we had some. Did we have any stars last week? We can check it. Before we do that, though, let's get to what is and forever will be the Roper Report. He didn't even read the email. There was an email today asking us to go back to boobs. So there, you
I do
nailed
what I
it.
can.
As usual, the Roper Report has been prepared by Colin Moriarty, so prepare for the spin zone.
This is a spin zone.
The number one story on Colin's Roper Report: Sony's CES conference was boring. They announced nothing you care about.
Well, am I wrong?
No, you were it was a terrible conference.
It was awful.
There's a new phone coming that is not the PSP phone.
That won't be announced till later.
And there was a Viva Elvis thing at the end where they danced around.
Yeah, I don't understand. So Cirque du Soleil now is officially the sort of the end cap
Totally.
to disappointment, I guess. Well, actually, no, I like 3D stuff. I think I'm still the lone 3D holdout. So there's a lot of the stuff for that, but
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk of 3D. Yeah.
I
The
mean,
guy
they
wore
were-
his
I want
glasses.
that freaking visor, man.
Yeah.
I want it. I do.
You
It's
would.
retarded. Yeah, I would.
They were good dancers. I
Yeah,
mean, at least.
no, they were fine.
It was an
dancers, I know.
entertaining performance.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything to do with video games.
There were chairs.
Yeah, there were some chairs.
All right, here comes Colin's longest entry in today's Roper Report. Remember when we reported that some investment firm in New York bought Harmonix? And how we were all puzzled by that, since it's hard to believe anyone would want to buy a company that creates games in a dying genre? Well, now it all makes sense. Columbus Nova Investment Group purchased Harmonix for $50, though they had to take all of the company's many liabilities off of Viacom's books in the process.
Yeah, it could be a good deal, but I don't know what their liabilities are because they're still paying out to artists and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
And they apparently have a bunch of unsold hardware.
Yeah, so they're saying there's just a bunch of stuff sitting in a warehouse. Basically.
So Viacom was. I told you. I said when maybe a month ago or 2 months when Viacom said they were gonna sell them. I was like, it's brilliant that they're getting rid of them now. You know.
But for $50, or is the bigger deal just taking all that liability?
Yeah, I think they don't want any of that stuff on their books.
Yeah. that
Well,
makes
and there's the fact that they just used it very cleverly as a tax sort of write-off.
Yeah.
So they're going to get $150 million or something like that in breaks for the whole thing. So.
Thanks, Obama.
Well, they bought him for I think they bought him for
Thanks, Alan
165 million.
Greenspan. I don't know. Whoever's in charge of
Oh,
that.
Greenspan. Yep. He's the one.
He's still there. Still there doing it.
Hey, he put these tax laws on the books. I know the real story. I paged through the Jon Stewart America book in the bookstore.
Isn't he the mayor of Robot USA?
No.
Oh, okay.
Robot has a
And,
governor.
and that's a state. Yeah, even I know that part. Come on.
I don't even know what Robot USA is.
It's
I
a state.
forgot.
Remember
It
the
is- oh,
state
it's a
song?
state.
You remember the familiar jingle from the state song? Washington, Tacoma, Robot.
Yeah. What? How can you forget that old chestnut?
I know.
Number 3 on the Roper Report, the new Tiger Woods golf game will be called Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12 The Masters. The cover image of the game doesn't show Tiger Woods at all, however. I wonder why, says Colin Moriarty, with a sly grin. It's because he slept with a bunch of people and ruined his image.
Yeah, I mean.
Instead,
I'm-
there's a
I'm-
flag. There's a flag on the cover.
I'm surprised they're.
Bastards.
I'm surprised they're even keeping his name, but they must owe him money, so they're probably just gonna keep it going.
Well, I think Tiger Woods is still a profitable name. Right? I don't know. It's all just.
He's not. I
PR
don't think he's even
BS.
golfing well anymore, is he? I mean.
Well, he wasn't as. I don't know. I shouldn't even.
I don't know anything about golf.
Exactly.
I don't
I pick up pieces here and there.
I know everything.
There was a club. I think.
I am golf.
Who won the Masters in 1953?
Tiger Woods.
You do know everything.
I know.
More photos of the PlayStation phone have leaked. These new photos show the phone in great detail. There's a PlayStation Store icon on the phone, but it isn't otherwise marked or branded in a PlayStation. Rather, it's marked as a Sony Ericsson Xperia. However, it does have the DualShock / PSP style D-pad, as well as triangle, square, circle, and X buttons. It was also photographed on a little girl's bed, which was awkward.
Was it? I didn't even know.
There were the
Okay,
Mickey
so
Mouse sheets.
Like you
That's
do.
funny. I assume they're doing that for patent reasons, so they don't have to create new things to put in the phone. You know.
What do you
Even if it's not going to be PlayStation centric or whatever, and you'll be able to play your games and maybe access PlayStation Network and stuff, obviously because the icon's on there. They probably just are going that road, so they already have all the components and they don't have to, like create or.
Well, I think they don't want to pull attention away from the inevitable PSP2 announcement. So if they have like a phone version of things and they have the PSP2, that's not necessarily a good idea. That's going to confuse people.
Right.
Well, if
I think people
so
are
if I get a
already
phone,
confused.
can I play PSP2 games? No, you can't. So
That is the trouble, yeah.
So I think they're going to separate it. They're going to have it as part of a platform. They sure teased that at CES. Like
Yeah,
Kaz,
I thought for
Kaz
sure-
actually said like tablets. So he said tablets and phones, and then with PlayStation. There.
When
So
they
I'm
came
like,
out with the
alright.
phone, I thought, all right, here we go. This is it.
Right.
And he pulled it out. Even I'm like waiting for the inevitable. Oh,
No, it's
and
just-
slide up.
yeah.
No, slide up.
Nope.
Yeah, he talked for like 10 minutes about mobile initiatives and whatever the hell he was talking about. And then they didn't show anything interesting about like the PlayStation phone. I was like, well, don't you want to just get that out of the way? And so because I feel like consumers are already confused. They're like, so is this the PSP2? Is this thing the PSP2? I don't want this thing. Like even if you read the comments in the stories, it's like it's not the PSP2 clearly. But
Yeah, exactly. That I think they want to make that distinction. I hope that it's
Ryan sums up the PlayStation portable phone in one yawn.
as usual, they can't keep a secret, and now they've confused the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I think next month is the Mobile World Conference, I think, or something like that. That's probably when they're going to show it off.
The phone. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, hold on. That can be one of your predictions.
Oh,
Too
all
late.
Don't ruin it.
That-
Don't ruin it.
well,
Well, all
Hey,
right, fine.
you
we
stole
go
my
something
pen, by the way.
Oh yeah, I did. I was going to write down two more, but
Oh, okay. Here.
I can't remember.
Colin
I can't think of
reports in a Roper
them.
variety.
Pull them out of my ass.
EA is closing a bunch of online servers starting in February. These are mostly for old sports games few people care about. EA says that it should only affect about 1% of their core online players.
Yeah. So.
Are they keeping the Medal of Honor server open?
I don't know why they would, but yeah, I'm sure they are. Game's pretty new. Yeah, these are like for like FIFA 06 and
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
like that. Like that
Okay.
people play on 360.
All right. What? Only on 360?
Yeah, FIFA 06 wouldn't be on PS3.
Oh, good call. All right. Sorry. I take it back the little indignant remark.
No, it's okay.
I want it stricken from the record. Clements, strike it from the record, please.
Wait,
Thank
hold
you.
on.
That's vampire striking. You're vampire striking. That isn't good. Number 6 on the Roper Report. A motion has been filed on behalf of Respawn Studios' Vince Zampella and Jason West, essentially claiming that Activision is drawing out their case against them to the point of seriously financially injuring the pair of game creators. The motion is moving to get the trial underway as soon as possible.
Yeah, apparently like EA is now like a co-defendant, and now they're drawing it out even more, and it seems like they might be doing it intentionally. So.
Which would not surprise me.
EA's got deep pockets; they can help.
Yeah, but I don't
they'll
think they're
toss
paying for
cash in
like
there.
any like I don't think like West and Zampella are getting any money from them to defend themselves
Well,
as
that's
co-defendants.
BS.
So their stuff is EA partners, right? They're not part of EA proper.
Yes.
They're sort of like the same thing as at the time BioWare Pandemic, that kind of thing. I guess.
I believe so. I think
That's what
how
I
it's
always
working.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
I think they're an autonomous studio.
Activision
So.
makes me angry.
Are they evil? There's an article on IGN
I
weighing
know.
in on the matter with comical results.
The answer is yes.
Do you think they're evil?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Absolutely.
They're a big corporation.
They are.
Yeah,
but
they want
do.
money.
You could. Yep. but
It's
you
American
can-
dream.
There's a difference between chasing profits and stuff, and then going about the route that they went, which is where they're just completely running stuff into the ground.
Well, yeah, but that also falls on the consumer.
What?
I don't like that. It never fails that I look through the inbox of the Beyond at IGN.com if you want to be part of the show. I look through that inbox and always, man, I'm so sad to see all these sequels and every year stop buying them. Stop buying
Yeah,
Call of
exactly.
Duty.
That's exactly
Stop,
what I'm saying,
You
yeah.
vote with your wallet. If you don't buy,
The problem is, though, there's shared responsibility, I think, because
Okay.
the reason why the music genre, like music games in general now, we're all pretty much
we're
in
all like,
agreement here that it's
fuck that.
exactly.
We curse now, by the way.
Oh, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Not too much.
That's it.
we
No,
don't.
no.
Yeah, we try. There's
That was very important. That was for effect.
a lot of crybabies wrote in. Oh, don't start cursing too much. I drive a van full of nuns. They love hearing my PlayStation.
Their heads all exploded when they heard shit. No.
The van flips off the road.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Greg, please enact what it would sound like if that van flipped right now.
Are they listening in silence or are they like singing?
Of
loud?
course, definitely listening in
they're-
silence. Very, very.
Yeah, say we're just riding in a van.
Oh yes, Ryan made a.
Those are hawks with laser
Oh my
eyes.
God.
Yeah, it gets really crazy.
I'll never forget. But all right, well, I don't want to take it on too much of a chance. Yet.
It's a
But
conversational podcast.
All right.
That's right.
I'll never forget when Sam and I were driving in my car at one point going to lunch, and we were talking about. I think we were talking about how you have like a fear of. Was it heights? Do you have a fear of heights a little bit?
Not a huge one.
But I think you were because you were talking about earthquakes and how
Oh, yeah.
that's like scary crap to you.
Absolutely.
And then And then you were talking about, like, that's all I need is for the ground to open up, and it'll just open up and you'll fall in, and then these giant spiders will come out and start eating you. And I was like, all right, well, I don't think that's going to happen.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know what's down there.
Giant spiders in the center of the earth.
Tremors.
Totally
They'll all be down there.
Tremors, yeah.
Graboids. I don't want no graboid getting me. Get me to a hard rock, huh? Remember they started making graboids that could walk around? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid
What?
sequels. That was 3.
That was 3?
Yeah.
I think I
The
only
Michael
saw the
Gross
first
project.
one.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I think I've only seen the first one too, or maybe part of where they
Oh
they
wait,
were direct to
at
video,
the end
right?
of 2 they started walking. Yeah, the second one, the second and third were direct to
Okay,
video.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, rounding out the Roper report with some graboid news. The Tomb Raider collection we reported on before now has a date, March 22nd.
Yay!
Colin shakes his head. He's not happy at all about this.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just like, why couldn't we get the? I know they're already on PlayStation Network on the store, but like it really should have been the original 3-play. Like, it's a misleading name, you know. When you think of Tomb Raider trilogy, you're gonna think about Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 from PlayStation.
I don't. What sucks is that those games do not hold up well anymore.
I haven't played them. In
I went
know,
back.
right.
I went back
years.
and actually played a little while back, and no, not so good.
I can understand that. Anniversary is number 1 redone, so
Yeah, but I thought that Anniversary actually highlighted a lot of the problems that were in the first game, where there was a lot of jumping puzzles that were obviously set up for spaces. Everything was grid based, right? And so when they updated things, there were still a couple of jumps that were kind of funky for me. So I don't know. But
Funky Jumps.
funky jumps.
good old funky jumps.
Oh.
I'm going to open a cafe called Funky Jumps.
Jumps.
Yeah, I forgot to get the games if that's what you're asking me.
Yeah, I was about to, but you just kind of took the wind out of my sails there.
Oh.
Sorry. Well, I don't think anything came out this week.
Well, we better start over. I'm going to delete
Delete
what
it
we
from
had.
here on out. All right. All right.
Yeah,
so
aside from
you're,
PSN stuff, I don't think
you think?
I really don't think anything came out this week. but-
Okay. Okay.
So-
What about the what about the digitals? You got some digitals?
I got some digitals.
What happened on the
Yeah,
digital
we got
front?
some digital.
Ricochet, bro.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of stuff there came out.
And Microbot.
Let me just.
Yeah,
I didn't have time to
We all
highlight
we can all talk about it, or not everybody, but we can talk about these games. I'm excited.
downloadable games.
Oh, wait.
I've played. You've played one of them, and I played the other 2, so I'm all set to go.
Oh,
You
you
guys
played
ready?
Microbots? Okay. Yep.
Microbot,
I don't like it.
Tetris,
I love it.
Neo Geo Station PS3 bundle pack for $80.
Hate it.
What the?
You can buy them single. You can buy
Yeah,
them in
for like
singles.
$9 a piece.
Yeah, I know.
Any SNK
trophies,
fan
no.
will
Yeah, no
surely
trophies.
enjoy it. Oh man,
And crappy
that's a lot
online
of-
play too.
yeah.
So woo.
Ricochet HD, Colin loves it.
5-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a boring game.
Maybe A5 to Tetris.
Here's an interesting one. Angry Birds, all right,
Yeah.
A 99-cent game
for
or free on an
$3.99.
What?
for $3.99.
Oh, my goodness.
As I believe is it a 300% or 400% markup? If it went from $1 to $4,
It's
I'm bad
totally,
at it.
be
it's
300.
totally
That's,
free on Android too, which is the crazier part.
No, wouldn't it be
so-
400%?
It would be 400. It's 4 times 1, right?
All right.
I don't know. I'm
I
done
I
with
don't do
math.
the math.
Well, it could be an additional 300. Yeah,
mathematics.
you're right. Whatever.
All
God,
the,
I hate math.
all the
It's
like,
stupid
all the
maths.
smart people that listen are
Or like,
screaming
yeah,
at
they're
us.
flipping the
The worst.
van full of mathematicians that's driving down the road.
PS1 classics. PS1 classics reloaded for $5.99. I like the description for this one. FUB is back and not happy. Currently known as CHEB, the evil mastermind is determined to turn the entire universe into twisted works of modern art.
No!
That's
Amazing. I know.
Yeah, we got to
need that
check
right
that
now.
game out. Arc the Lad 3.
Nice.
Yeah, some game demos. Nothing too crazy here. What add-on game?
I still can't
content
believe
do
Angry
that?
Birds is $4.
I know.
Do they not understand pricing on the
clearly,
PlayStation Store?
Clearly they don't.
All the minis
Oh, yeah.
are like $4 and
There we go.
$5. That's why
I
they
have to
don't
imagine.
sell.
I have to imagine if you are pricing these games, you are literally thinking if they haven't bought it now, they have nowhere else to buy it for. So we might as well sell it as the price of every other mini.
I guess, but I mean, all right, look at Space Shooter for $2, for instance. That game is awesome.
Yep.
That game is awesome.
Yep.
I gave it like what, a 9?
Yep.
That game is great. It's $2 effing,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's better than pretty much all
Yeah,
the other
and
minis
it's better
that are,
than like,
you know,
yeah, it's
twice
actually,
the price.
I just don't understand. They need to, like, I really hope if the PSP2 is obviously going to be solid state, it's obviously going to be really driven by the PlayStation Store. They need to get their shit in order with that stuff.
Yeah.
If they want to sell games, you know, all of those prices need to come down. A mini should not be more than like $2.
A
Period.
mini should not be more than $1.
Yeah, I mean, that would be
unless
perfect.
I
unless
would
there's a
say
very special
99 cents,
occasion,
yeah.
like a Space Shooter for $2. That's perfect. That's like, oh, hey, look, this is a really
They
good game.
should do. They
Clearly
should
it's
pull
a
an
good game.
Apple and open it up for people to use it, give out the stuff, and let them go. go.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I hope they announce something like that when PSP 2 comes out. But maybe we'll get to that in the predictions.
But Colin, we're not done with the digital. Oh.
Go ahead. No, we're just that's all.
I was trying to do like a fun segue, but anyway, there's some PSP stuff also available this week. Legends of War, Patton's campaign.
Hell yeah, dude.
Which is old, right? I remember hearing about a patent campaign.
Something-
Yeah.
It also sounds like a game you don't want to play. So.
Yeah, true. But you can manage your army and recruit units that range from infantry to aircrafts.
All right.
I
Anyway,
didn't know aircraft were a unit.
Auditorium.
Sure are.
Yes.
This is something Anthony really likes.
Anthony loves it on PS3. We have not gotten the PSP review up yet.
Okay, gotcha.
8.5 on PS3 though. Should pick it up there.
There's some Hot Shots Shorties packs.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
those
know.
are all games,
They're
right?
all mini games. I played it in Japan when it was on. When I went to TGS 2 years ago, they had it there, and it's like a bunch of little mini games. I had fun with it. I haven't tried the US version yet, but it was like it's goofy stuff like arrange these books in alphabetical order, and you're like little stuff like that, and like cleaning a house, vacuuming, and not
Oh,
vacuuming.
that sounds awesome.
vacuuming
That's
up.
compelling stuff.
Arrange these books. Now clean your fucking house.
You dust your room
I
first.
paid
You will get
$5
beaten
for
in
this.
game.
I'm playing this to
beaten in
avoid
game.
doing housework.
You will get beaten in game. That's the funny
That's what happens. That's
It
one of
just
the
shows
mini
a little belt.
Yeah. No, a guy comes in, there's a little white glove that just goes whoop, and then it has dust on it, and then just.
And there's lastly 2 other PSP minis available. Family games.
Well, that's compelling. What does that cost? $8?
It's $29.99. No, it is not. It's $4.
Oh, okay.
Also, the final mini for today, Mozox Space Salvager.
See, now that's a title right there.
Mozox is all in caps and
Yeah, what's
with
the acronym
Mozox?
stand for?
I don't know.
All right.
Multiple obsessions for xenophobic, oxygenated X-Men.
That's
Is
compelling stuff.
xenophobic a Z word? I think it's an X
It's
word.
an X word.
Yeah.
I know, it's
All
a Z word now.
It sounds like a Z word though, so you can get away with it.
No, I messed up.
All right. That leads us to pick of the week.
I guess I haven't played it yet, but Tetris looks awesome.
Tetris is awesome. Tetris is great. Yeah, I have a great time. The multiplayer is really good. I played with none other than the tester, Will Powers, for a night. It was great. It
gonna
runs
pick it
really
up this
smooth.
week.
There's little hitches to it, right? Like you can't party up. So I invite you to a game and we play for a while and it's like, well, let's try a different mode. We have to back out and I have to re-invite you. Like you can't just stick with me to go to another one. That's kind of silly.
Yeah.
There's leaderboards though, so like when you're playing through different versions, single player stuff, you see it in the corner, like how close I am to Golden One score or whatever, somebody else's score.
That's
Neat
something
stuff
that,
like that.
I love that. That is something more games need to do because they did
Yeah.
that with Marvel Pinball.
Yeah.
And then
And then
obviously all
Pac-Man
the stuff
and
that
stuff
yeah,
like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that is a good trend. I like that
Yeah,
trend.
I like that too.
Little pop-up says, "You're so close."
Oh no, Clements is putting his fingers together.
Oh god, that face.
I had nothing to say. I just
Oh.
wanted to make a funny face.
All right then, Tetris, buy it. $10. The same price as the mini was.
That's right.
It's a vamped up version of the mini, obviously. It's got some of this. It's Tetris, so it's not like it's getting changed around too much. But they add multiplayer, voice support, leaderboards.
$10
all this good stuff.
PlayStation Mini.
Yeah.
Is that what you just
like
said?
that? Yeah, you like that? That's
All
why.
right.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Hey, nobody knew what to do with minis when they first came out.
I knew what to do with them.
I can tell you what
Now
they
they've
should do.
figured it out.
Mr. Miller, this is a conversational podcast, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm about to test that to its limit.
Oh,
all
man.
right, with how conversational we can get. Oh, Walter's waving to us.
I don't like Walter all that much.
Ooh, jeez.
What? Did I say that in the air? Bleep that. I'm kidding, Walter.
This is really random, but it just made me
love
laugh because I
Snack Pack.
just thought of it. All right. So my friend had a little card he made when he was like a kid. Like it was a school project where you make a little ID card for yourself and it lists what you're good at. All right. And he kept it because it was so priceless. There were 3 things listed on what he was good at, and this was when he was a little kid. The first one was making funny faces.
Nice.
Yes.
The second one was running really fast. And the third one was once I start something, I don't.
That's awesome.
And then it's just
That's really witty for a young child.
Yeah, how old was it? How old?
I don't know. I forgot
That's
how old he was.
amazing.
He was a
That's
sophomore in high school.
This was in college.
Let's make ID cards.
So this is like 4 years ago then. Fair enough.
You guys, I got a good idea. I can run really fast.
Trophy tips.
Just the tip.
You got anything, Colin? You been trophying it up?
Um.
For this ball breaking game, am I gonna get any?
Yeah, I got a few, but I mean,
Yeah. Tetris makes you work for them. You're gonna have to work
Yeah.
if you want to get some golds or silvers.
I
in
don't
Tetris.
mind that, but like.
You have to be really good at Tetris
But it's
to get
fun,
these.
yeah. I like Tetris, so I mean,
I
that's,
like
that's
Tetris.
timeless
I
stuff.
love Tetris, but I don't think I'm as good as I need to be to get them.
You know what has good trophies that I've been playing is you have to really try to attain them. But Horde, I'm like still really into that game, and that game had like because you just get trophies for leveling up and getting like the in-game rewards. So there's really like you just have to play.
And it's a fun game.
I really
Horde's
dig
awesome.
that game.
Horde's
Yeah, I dig
awesome,
it. I like
it's
turn it
got
on every night.
It's got a
Almost.
dragon in it. I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, that's what's
Man,
turning
those,
you off.
Those dragons.
Layer burned you, and that
Yeah.
was it. You're like, I'm done.
Done with dragons. Except for sea dragons.
Oh.
You like Sea Dragon?
Yeah.
Kraken?
Changes everything.
Release the Kraken.
Listener Jimmy writes into beyond@ign.com with a trophy tip for himself. This is also a trophy tip that I know is backed by one and only Jeff Rubenstein, just the Blognack himself. I've noticed a ton of NFL talk throughout the podcast recently, and I have to say I think it's awesome that people play both sports and PlayStation like I do. But I never noticed you guys ever talking about Madden franchise. Here's a trophy tip. Play Madden 11 for trophies. Not only is it a 5 to 10 hour platinum, but the game is incredibly fun. I know Rubenstein played. Rubenstein said he got 50% of the trophies in 2 football games.
What?
That's awesome.
Wow.
I have it on my shelf. I just haven't.
I think I'm
popped
gonna
it.
play a freaking NFL game.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just so not
Madden
compelled by Madden anymore because the lack of competition in that particular niche of sports games. It's not even a niche.
Oh, yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the biggest
no,
part of
it's-
sports
yeah.
games. It's like ridiculous, man. Like those games just haven't changed. They're not really. I used to love Madden, but it's just I won't buy that shit anymore.
Yep.
Like basically, you're just giving me roster updates. I can just get the roster update from like NFL 06 or whatever on the internet, and just or do it manually like we used to do in the 90s, which was always really quite fun.
I do actually remember that. I suck horribly at sports games, but roommates and I would just like chill. We'd have the whole little sheets of paper and everything. We'd just start going through it. And
Yeah, it was awesome. Like when the newspaper would come out, like it would always say like recent transactions on the sports sheet. Like when I would play the NHL games, I'd like go through and it'd be like San Jose trades Kelly Kissio for whatever, and then I'd go on my thing and like trade them. And if it wouldn't let you, you'd have to like force it or whatever. So
I'm gonna shoot my brains out right now.
Wow.
I just
wow.
You're crazy.
No, I'm just kidding.
Buffalo drove him crazy.
Buffalo drive me crazy too.
Oh, I love Buffalo, dude. It's great. I went clubbing in Buffalo.
Wow.
That was a skanky experience, let me tell you. Oh my God.
I bet it was.
Is this the tweet I saw where you ran into some
Excuse me.
Korean girl that you could talk K-pop with? Okay.
Yes, that was a good part, and she was very nice and
She wasn't
not,
skanky?
Not no. But
She hot?
as my sister, yes, as my sister described, when you mix Buffalo girls with alcohol, night gets raunchy real fast.
You're
It
eating
was-
wings and watching the Buffalo Bills.
Well, I mean, no one was eating wings in the club. It's like playing house music.
I like to imagine, that's the sound, and you just walk over, and there's this big faucet, and you turn on all these drinks, pour out into a bowl, and you turn the faucet
That would
off.
be your dream
Yes,
experience.
yes,
wouldn't
it
it?
would.
By the way, I think we got. I don't know if you're gonna read it, but the emails. I think we got at least one email of someone complaining that we've been talking about the NFL too much.
Yeah, we get stuff like that.
I just want to say that it's almost the playoffs. They start this Saturday, and we're going to be talking about the NFL for the next few weeks, especially because the Jets are going to the
Did
Super Bowl.
you catch the Sports Center special yesterday about Brad Smith?
No,
They had a thing about a little segment about why Brad Smith's so important to the Jets.
he is super
Yeah,
important.
Brad Smith from Mizzou.
See, I think Brad Smith's so important because, like, I was talking to actually Mike Mitchell, I think, about this, about how they could really drop the third quarterback off the roster.
Yeah, no,
and-
you're talking to me about this.
Oh, so it was you.
Yeah, I agree.
And they could just save it, and oh my God.
I wish we had a video podcast. Yeah, Sam and Ryan are having their own pantomiming discussion.
he started shooting his head from different angles, and I started shooting him with the laser hawk.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still recording.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Did you
I'm not mad at all. We are a
Okay.
conversational podcast. So yeah, football's gonna come up once in a while. Because
Yeah.
Brad Smith's in the playoffs. What do I care? And the Bears. All right. So
They don't play this
big
week,
deal.
though, right?
Oh,
They
I
have a
know.
bye.
Oh, I'm aware they don't play this week.
I want to play this
Sitting
weekend.
pretty.
I can't take it.
All right. We'll get it back on track, you complainers. Oh,
it's
I'm not
fine.
complaining.
here's all the kids
The
driving.
Laserhawks.
They don't like sports, and they start talking about NFL.
I love how everyone that listens to the podcast is driving nuns around in a van.
Everyone drives the van when they listen to podcasts.
I don't know what's worse, this accident or the sports stuff.
But then the car explodes.
Yeah.
So it was the laser. No.
They cover for me when I
right,
want to get
topic of the
blazed
week.
in my Winnie. All right.
What?
Toe.
Scott Pilgrim
Toe.
reference.
Oh, I saw that. I watched a little bit of that movie this weekend. Terrible.
What?
Bullshit.
Even Bromley tweeted. He's like, "Can we all admit now that
No,
this movie
first off, Bromley
sucks?"
tweets about all like I can't stand Bromley tweets because they're all like, "Hey, what's important? What do people like? Oh, I hate that. I'm gonna tweet about it now.
Yeah, but no one
Look
really-
how important I am." And he tilts his hat he doesn't wear.
Oh, okay.
He tilts his hat. He doesn't wear.
But we were like, it was just on like Showtime or something. We were just sitting on the couch watching it, and we would just like kind of looked at each other after like 20 minutes. Like, this sucks.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. I just like
You crazy.
I don't
You
know,
crazy.
man. I was just, to me, like we Bromley and I kind of agreed that it's almost embarrassing, that movie, because
What
like
are you talking
because
about?
gamers aren't like that. I don't like, my whole life doesn't revolve around games, and like I don't sit on my talk about games, and I'm awkward, and I play in this fucking band that's named after an NES game and shit. Like, I don't know. It's just bizarre. I don't know, and I can see why it tanked.
I don't even consider him a real gamer, Scott Pilgrim.
No, he's not at all.
He plays some Nintendo. The young Neil, he has a DS.
Yeah, Young Neil's the like.
Who the
big
hell is
gamer.
young Neil?
So you didn't
It's his
even
friend.
get past the credits.
No, I watched it until that was the worst part, was the dance sequence in the bar when he faces off against the
Oh
boyfriend.
yeah,
with
the DDR kind of thing.
Like, yeah, I was like, oh my god, I was like, this is so bad. I could, and then
You
we
should've
stopped
kept
watching
watching
it. I couldn't take it anymore.
No,
after
you're
that.
stupid.
There's more to enjoy.
Crazy.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Why are you looking at me like
I don't
that?
know. Toe. We have a two-pronged topic of the week. First on the agenda, 2011 predictions, followed by Little Big Planet 2 discussion. As you know, every year we like to make predictions about the coming year in PlayStation. This time, first podcast of 2011, it's about time to do it. We already went through the results last year. I won by a narrow margin.
I almost won.
Damn it.
Go figure.
Yeah.
I never win these predictions.
We'll do it our normal style. Well, Sam, I dropped this on you when you got here today.
Yeah, it's
Do you
okay.
have some on the tap ready?
Yeah, there's some
Do you want?
stuff-
How
there's
about we usually?
things
You know how we usually go one by one. I'll start.
I got one.
Clement,
I got one.
Colin,
Perfect.
you, and we'll
All
keep
right,
going around.
we can
We
do that.
each do three.
Gotcha.
My
right.
first one on my list here, and this breaks my heart to say it, and I'll talk about it here in a second. Mass Effect 3 beats Uncharted 3 for Game of the Year, IGN's overall Game of the Year award. I think it'll. I think.
That's a good one.
I think it'll be a very close race, and I think Uncharted 3 is going to be spectacular. Might get my, I don't know if it'll get my vote. What I'm saying, but I think it would have a chance to, right? But I think Mass Effect. So many people have invested so many hours in that they're going to be so much more tied into that story with their character that they've taken for 3 games and see whatever climactic moment ends the trilogy. That's why I think it'll lose.
I like that.
All right.
Mine's a little risky.
Okay.
My first one. I also have 5 in case one of them is rejected.
That's smart.
No, good call. Good call.
Last Guardian officially dated at TGS this year because I don't think it's going to get a date beforehand.
Okay.
Now, do you want to make a side prediction to that, or do you want to leave it at that? Is it being given a date for 2011 or 2012?
Well, if it's dated at TGS, I doubt it would come out this year. But I
I
don't
remember a
know.
game called Gran Turismo 5 getting a release date 2 weeks before it came out.
All right,
7
well,
times.
my only prediction is they're going to give at least the official Japanese release date at
Okay.
TGS and potentially an international release date as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Colin, what do you got for me? Number 1.
I made this prediction last year. I'm going to make it again.
Okay.
We will not hear anything about the PlayStation 4 at all.
Okay.
The entire year. So everyone can stop talking about it, please.
That's good. That takes care of one of the ones I was going to do. All right. Here we go. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's
Y'all
not that
ready
exciting.
for this?
I think the PSP2 will be announced. Obviously, at E3. It's, the
This
big
is
rumor
the
right now.
prediction. You're going somewhere else.
Yeah. But it will have a 3D screen.
Ooh.
Yes. And it'll be glasses free, just like the DS or the 3DS. Yeah.
Okay. I like that one. I'll piggyback right off that
All right.
and kind of contradict you here.
All right.
PSP2 is real and announced at GDC.
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 Yeah. I say they take a shot at GDC this year. Why not?
All right.
My next one, DMC, the Devil May Cry reboot,
Which looks
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
will be playable at E3 this year.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Okay.
It's a safety. I
Yeah,
think
you
that
want to
that's
get a
very
point on the
likely.
board. I understand.
Yeah.
I have a PSP2 prediction. PSP2 will be announced at E3.
Okay.
They will give it an October release date. It will retail for $299. That's all one prediction.
I like that.
Wow.
I like that, yeah.
Putting all the chips in.
So
man.
you're gonna be the one next year with like the .75
Yeah,
on your score.
yeah.
Well, 2 of these things came true.
See, just as an aside, like I think it's obvious that PSP2 would be talked about at TGS, but 2 things: TGS is too far away, and I think they realize that the Japanese market's going to love it and buy it. They really need to appeal to the American market for this and make them believe. So I think that's why I think it's going to happen.
It's not really a prediction, but I was thinking announcement, and probably the same thing as they did in 2004. Show it off at E3.
Look at how small it is.
You can't see the 3D. But I think it's not going to be playable until TGS. But I do think that so they won't have it they'll have a display case like they always do.
Yeah.
You'll see the hardware. It'll probably look really nice and cool and everything. Well, we already kind of know what it looks like, but and then TGS was actually where the games will be. So
Right on. Yeah, I can get down with that.
Okay.
That's not your prediction.
That's not your prediction. You're
no,
just
no,
piggybacking.
I'm just thinking.
What's
yeah.
number 2 on this ambitious list?
Okay, so this kind of feeds back on what we were talking about earlier, but I do think that there is going to be. I think PlayStation, as a brand, is going to be something that is available on Android devices, multiple Android devices. So there's going to be a PlayStation tablet, just akin to the iPhone.
Interesting.
Yeah, it won't be branded like the PSP phone or whatever.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be, PlayStation stuff, services, but it'll have all the PSN connectivity, all that stuff. Trophies.
Yeah, we need some trophies. We need some trophies on this piece. All right, my final prediction. Not Shadow. What's the other one? Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Delayed. It won't make it this year. 2012.
Huh.
That's what I said. Is that 2? Is that 2 in there? I got another one. Is that 2? I've said that
No,
before
that's
on the
fine.
show.
That's fine. That was my last one, but I have another one. But I do want to add to it if I can.
Yeah, sure.
That I don't think that it's not. I don't know if they can really say this or even hint at it, but I think it probably will be ready for this year, but they don't need it, and so I think that they'll just push it. Yeah.
I can understand it.
Yeah.
Ready for my
Go
final?
ramble.
Infamous 2 will score a 9.5 at IGN.
Ooh.
And of course,
This is assuming that I do not review it, because I feel like I won't.
you know from the trailers I won't give that game a 9.5. Interesting side note. Remember, me and Colin not reviewing Infamous 2.
Yep.
Someone else will.
Oh. I forgot.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be one of you
no.
guys.
Now, we have clearly gone over the bend. We're no longer objective on this game.
Yeah.
When I couldn't sleep when they changed Cole, I was like, I can't review this game. I've kind of lost sight of the woods
Oh,
here.
well, I can't. Well, all right. I guess I can. Do you want me to take
No,
that
you're
back
fine.
if I
No,
need to
it's
review
been
it?
said. It's on the docket.
All right.
Right now, somewhere out there, there's a kid listening remembering he's writing 169 into his arm with a blade.
There's an astronaut at the
So that
space
he'll
station.
remember. Next December, he's going to send an email to beyond@ign.com. All of us will be fired. There'll be new people here, but they'll go over the predictions and see who would have been right.
There's an astronaut right now doing a spacewalk outside the space station, and he's radioing into Houston to let him know to write that down. Houston, can you? Houston.
Con,
Yeah.
your final prediction of 2011.
We're finally. This was my alternate one, but I think it's a good one. We're finally going to get a new Onimusha game.
Oh.
It'll be announced at E3, but it won't come out till next year.
Fourth prediction: it'll be a piece of trash.
Whoa, what?
No. Sorry. Onimusha 1 and 2 are classics.
Coming from the guy that doesn't like Scott Pilgrim.
Yep.
Wait, but you don't like Onimusha 3?
No. 3's the
Really?
worst one. That was the one where they went to the modern times. and-
Yeah,
that was
in
awful.
France.
Jean Reno and
Oh, it was
yeah.
bad. That was bad. I know people don't
It
like.
played just fine. I thought it was fun.
No, it did, but I didn't like it just got away from the aesthetics and like
Okay,
what made Onimusha Onimusha. Because Onimusha, the first one, is kind of almost like not a survival horror game, but it's a horror game.
Definitely. No, it was meant as sort of a spin-off thematically from the Resident Evil.
Definitely. And I think that Dawn of Dreams, the fourth one, people shit on it, but I actually like that game.
Oh god, I hated it. Oh, I hated that game.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't take it. It didn't have any of the stuff that I actually liked about Onimusha.
I just felt like it went back to kind of like somewhat the spirit that made the first one. great.
Definitely in tone and look and everything like that. I mean, there's something awesome about fighting with some of the random dude in a giant field that's got stuff blowing around, and it looked really cool. But
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
yeah.
So that's it.
Ooh.
Sammy.
Final
prediction of
Final
2011.
prediction. There will be new PS3 hardware announced. There will be another redesign
Oh my gosh.
used to sort of circumvent the giant crack that's now in the system.
All right. Yes, we didn't
So-
put
Good
this in
one.
the Roper report.
Yeah.
Somebody cracked the PS3.
Yeah, we didn't report on
maybe.
that.
Yeah.
I watched
Okay.
that whole video that they
Yeah.
put up too.
Yeah.
Our whole thing is it's hard to prove, so it's not like we can call up the hacker and get him to walk us through it and talk it through. And then do we support people hacking systems? Is this important to the casual gamer? I mean,
No, I think
not even casual gamer, but like the IGN reader. Like if you're so dialed in that you care about hacking, there's a number of sites
Well-
posting YouTube videos and talking to shady sources. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is that really our place? We don't know. We want to tell you about games, not about how to
no,
break
I
your
don't
system.
disagree.
Okay, so I think the issue with what they did there, and potentially, I'll throw it out there as
Exactly right.
Yeah, I'll throw
I've tried to
air
back-
quotes around this.
Back
because-
when that one Australian people were like, "Oh yeah, we figured out a way. You plug it in with a USB drive."
Yeah.
I emailed them like, "Can I have one or whatever?" Like, "Oh, they're not ready yet." I'm like, "All right,
Yeah,
go to hell."
exactly. Yep. The problem with the way that they had it set up, allegedly, is that they are now completely able to sign their own code, which means that you can run anything without any sort of hardware modifications, without any software modification, you can if they package something as if Sony did, your PS3 can't tell the difference. So people could run software or hacks or do stuff through. It'd be just like the Xbox or PS2 days where you could use like a GameFly or something like that and get online or
Game Shark.
Thank you, Game Shark
Or Game Genie.
Genie
That's what they need to bring back is a Game Genie. So you can modify things and then sign the code, and the PS3 can't tell the difference between like an official one and something else. So you can do custom firmware and a bunch of other crap, obviously for homebrew, but the implications here are, purely a sort of piracy thing. And because Sony doesn't have nearly as stringent a policing policy on the PSN as they do on Xbox Live, there's a lot of potential there for people to sort of modify stuff and basically hack the games and get away with it, or abuse trophies and change them and do all that stuff.
Is
Watching
there?
you, Colin.
Are people's?
You can shoot up like 16 levels. Oh, sorry. I guess I have more than everybody else.
Forgive my ignorance on this topic, but would that mean that people's like account information, like credit cards, are vulnerable, or is that a different sort of system?
I guess potentially it's possible because they could, I guess, peek and grab that stuff, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the intent. But yeah, I mean, if they can run unsigned code, they can do anything. So they could basically, I'm sure there's some command out there that you could run if you dig deep enough, where you could wipe out someone's hard drive, doing that stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's the potential there for
And firmware, like a forced firmware upgrade, couldn't fix this?
Because the problem is the way they have it set up, they have complete control over all the system checks. So if you were to do a firmware update that says, okay, no, let's block all this stuff, they can just do another firmware update that says, no, it's all back. So literally, they can absolutely make their own custom firmware now, allegedly. So yeah,
that's
and people have done
stuff,
it.
man.
So yeah, it is very fast. I mean, the fact. So, but you guys did hear about why this all happened.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
that was the worst part. So correct me if I'm wrong. So I watched the video. First of all, the video, those guys are total douchebags. Like they would have like trophy notifications come up on their PowerPoint every time they like got this new thing or whatever. It'd be like, and apparently there's like this thing where it randomizes numbers, right?
There's
They're supposed to be like randomized numbers is like a lock. Did you read anything about this?
I read a little bit of it, but I didn't go too deep.
It's like some sort of lie. I'm sure the engineering guys that listen to this are like shuddering because I don't know anything about this stuff. But
They're driving their van down the road, and it just comes.
But apparently, like when you're like checking the authenticity of something on PlayStation, like it's supposed to there's supposed to be like randomly generated numbers that like match up with each other. But what these guys realized was that the numbers actually don't randomly generate; they generate the same number every time.
Yep.
And if you know that number, which is the same on all of the PlayStations, then you get through all of like their boundaries or whatever.
And that security check is for everything. It's not just for games or anything else like that. It's Blu-ray movies, all that stuff. So they now have like keys for exactly. They have keys for Blu-ray.
That's interesting. I didn't know. I assumed that it wasn't that big of a deal, and that's why no one was really reporting on it because like they would just be like, oh, well, we'll just upgrade the firmware. And
yeah. So this is not something that they can do with firmware. There were people were talking about it, and those guys were talking about it. And they're saying Sony's potential way around this is to do a whitelist, which is to basically have every single piece of software that's been put out there so far on the PSN, everything.
Yeah.
They can whitelist that stuff and then push out an update, and everything else that's not on that list doesn't work. But of course, they can just modify the whitelist and patch in their own stuff. So the only way to get around it at this point is to do a complete hardware redesign, which is why that's my prediction. So that they can, it's in the actual silicon, it's in the chip itself, this random number generator that is not random. So they need to redo that.
Yeah.
Once they do that,
what a
everything is pretty much
disaster,
back
dude.
Yeah,
who was the engineer that made I wonder if that was a mistake or if that was just intentional. Like no one's gonna figure this out. We don't have to actually randomly generate the number.
They can't possibly think that because I don't. Who knows? But that it is an amazing like pratfall for them. I mean, that's just absolutely. No one's done that. So it went from the most secure, the longest since the system's been hacked, although, of course, a lot of people say that it wasn't until OS got taken out, my precious Linux, got taken out that they really started like looking at it. But yeah, it went from being the most secure and completely, impenetrable to very, very slowly. They just kind of chipped away at it, and then it boom, 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 and it just.
I mean, if you ask me, that's gonna happen no matter what. If you give anybody a
On
piece
a
of
long
hardware
timeline?
and they're like, I want to fuck with it, they're gonna go do with it.
Yep.
I do.
And also, real quick, in IGN's defense, why we haven't put anything up on this, like I said, very hard to pin down an accurate source, and Sony doesn't comment on this. So Jim Riley, our news hound, as you know, woof, 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 is grinding away on this one, but he's trying, it's hard to get anywhere where you can get a reputable
I mean, you
source.
definitely want proof of this sort of thing.
Yeah,
so.
you don't want just a screen name in a YouTube video and be like, here's
exactly,
what happens.
Exactly. But it does certainly seem fairly legit. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks or months or whatever. But.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Sony reacts. I also will say this, even though I'm totally against piracy, and I think that's wrong. What they did was wrong. But you have to kind of, it's really impressive that people can do this kind of shit.
It's always
because like
really
I just like during the PowerPoint, if you watch it, like there's like all this math and like all these equations and stuff like that. Like
We can't figure out what 400% of a number
I'm like,
is.
and it's bad funny because it's like they point to like a part of the equation. They're like, see, this is the thing, and it's like I'm like, this is just like a squiggly line or something like that. And they're like, and everyone's laughing in the audience because they all know what the hell this is. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what?
Yes.
So I'm always,
played,
as someone
well
who studied the humanities and is very like reading and writing, like I really appreciate and almost very envious of the people that are able to do
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff.
I completely agree. There's
They're using
there's-
it for evil.
There's talent there. Well, so their defense is, of course, that these guys are just hacking the system. They're breaking it open, but they're not the ones that are going to be responsible for piracy. They just feel it falls in lockstep with any efforts to circumvent any security stuff.
Yeah.
So they're in it just to, basically to be able to do it. And to stick, they want to stick Linux back on it if they want to, I guess. In this case now, they have more or less full access to the hardware. So if they do Linux again, it won't be the same as when Sony did other OS. They should technically have some access to, I would think, to the RSX and everything. So they'll have full memory. They'll have all that stuff. But there was never a proper Linux distro that really took advantage of the system anyway because it was so hampered. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
that's
really,
fascinating.
it really, those guys are very, very smart. So yeah.
This is one of those interesting stories that's going to go down in gaming lore. I think is like one of the really cool,
Yeah.
like especially with Sony, Nintendo's betrayal of Sony and all those other things. Like this is going to be
Well,
one of those
this is
interesting
going to
stories.
be the generation, right? This is going to be the generation that sort of
greatest generation.
that everything flipped for Sony.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had two very good ones, and then things didn't start so well with the start of this one, and then they got very, they started really.
But then
climbing up.
2011, the year of the PlayStation came.
Oh yeah, dude, there are so many good games coming out.
I
this
know
year.
it's nuts.
And it kicked off with
Yeah.
Little Big Planet 2.
Yes,
It's coming up right now. That's why you're here, Sam.
It is. It is.
I reviewed it this week. Gave it a 9.0. Loved it. Said it's a great game.
Excellent.
Everybody should buy it.
Yeah.
You have been playing Little Big Planet 2 for like 6-8 years. Something like that.
I made it. I made it.
You're media molecule. I'm a big fan. Sam, bring people up to speed. What were you doing when you weren't on Beyond?
I was writing the Little Big Planet 2 official strategy guide
For Brady.
for Brady Games.
That's where you pick it up.
Yes.
You go to Brady.
Yeah, you can find it in stores. Whenever.
stores,
Yeah,
okay.
stores. Yeah,
Go to
Go
Brady.
to Brady.
Excuse me, I'm looking for Brady.
That's right. Exactly. You just walk down the street and you ask every single person, "Are you Brady? Are you
Actually,
Brady?"
you go to the phone book and just call all the people that are.
All right. Buy it at GameStop probably. Buy
Yeah,
it at
it'll be
Walmart.
in
Buy
a
it at Barnes &
gajillion
Noble.
stores. I'm sure you can get it online too.
Yeah.
But
All right. So how long were you working on this guy?
it was, I think, about 4 months all told.
Okay.
So yeah.
How did that treat you?
Have you guys ever done guides before?
Guides Guru
you've done,
has.
Yes.
Yeah, never print guides.
Okay. I guess it's largely the same. You're really just working, obviously with print because you have a longer lead time. You get access to it just like you did with print magazines and stuff. You get access to it a little bit earlier, but that also means that in a very real sense, you are sort of reverse engineering what they're making as they're making it. So it changes from week to week, and for us, it would. There'd be fairly major revisions every, I would say 2 weeks or so. There'd be something major, and they'd change something completely different in the game. So physics would be different, or location of items, that kind of thing. So you're sitting there and you're trying to break down what they've made to tell people how to get that stuff, and then so there's the walkthrough part of it, and then I actually wrote the first part of the walkthrough, and then switched over to create. So I did all the create stuff, and I tried to. I don't know about you. I didn't really touch create in the first game. I made the stupid bullshit level where you could a jillion point things are there. They're trophy levels, basically.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was the extent of it.
I made 2 levels. Yeah, I tried starting at Ghostbusters 1 and got way over my head, and I couldn't make the car move anymore. And so then I went back and made just a incredibly basic platforming level where I basically, it was like a blog. I word bubbles would pop up and tell you about my life, and I had photos and stuff, but. It was super rudimentary.
Well, see,
very, very basic.
and that's where I was exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, I was even further behind that. I hadn't even touched create to any real extent.
Yeah.
So I had to learn all the stuff in the first game, and then I had to learn all the stuff they added, what was the difference, and all that stuff, and I had to write all that. So that not super fun. No.
Yeah.
I still, I think I did the math a little while back, and it's probably somewhere around 150 hours of the game.
Jeez.
All told across all the different builds and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
There's a lot of replaying, obviously, but and I spent probably at least a good 50 hours or so in Create just screwing around.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out how they did stuff. And luckily, because it was like early builds and stuff. I could go into the levels that they made and then switch to create mode.
Nice.
Which you can't
That's
do.
cool.
And
I
could
don't know
see how
why
built
they
it.
don't let us do that. And I understand not letting me do it because you don't want me to upload the story levels and say they're mine.
Right.
But let it copy it to the moon so I can, because I'm a much more show me how you did it and then I know.
Okay,
Because
so-
they're big on tutorials and telling me how very specifically the motor bolt does this, but it doesn't at all say this is how we made this bee fly around and shoot this.
Okay.
That's this color and this happens.
Now that is something that I wanted to do in the guide. So the first section is just sort of like it incorporates as many elements as possible.
Uh-huh.
The second section does some other stuff. I don't want to get too far into it because it's not out yet. So, but one of the big things that we wanted to do was highlight very specific parts of the game and tell you how they did it.
Okay, good.
So, but as far as I understand it, you can't copy it. Originally, when they were making the levels, they were still within the budget of My Moon thing.
Yeah.
Eventually, toward the end of the game, they I think grew beyond that, so
Gotcha.
they took out the
Beyond.
option of copying. So yeah.
Good catch.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very interesting. Being able to see that how dude, I don't know how those guys are able to do some of this stuff. There's actually a video out there from I think it was Gamescom,
Okay.
where they were talking about how they use the sequencer that's in the game, where you can basically put a ton of stuff on this timeline. For anybody who hasn't read through yet or played the beta or any of that stuff, and it plays the things in sequence. So you can do a ton of different stuff.
You can make music. Yeah.
You can do music.
Yeah.
You can put like tag sensors on stuff that triggers things all over the level anywhere you want. I mean, it's an amazing tool. Except that's like the scrub version of how to do it. This guy who was apparently a graphic designer in I think Paris made a bunch of levels for the first game, and Media Molecule brought him in. And they said, okay, well, we want you to make stuff for Little Big Planet 2, and so he started on it. And they finally came up with a sequencer, and he's like, wait a minute. I can redo this whole level with the sequencer. So I guess the embargo's up so we can talk about it. But the level where you're on a caterpillar and you're kind of going through the tree, that's all completely sequenced.
Really?
So what's happening is the level itself is sort of half scrolling, and you're just kind of moving along. It's got like a little anti-gravity tweaker on it.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't actually fall down. And there's a timeline with individual pieces, and it literally just spawns chunks of the level up in front of you off camera.
Yeah.
And so you're zooming through this stuff, and that's why it's much, much bigger, like taller than a typical level would be.
Nice.
And that is ingenious, and there's no way that I would have been able to figure that stuff out.
I think they did.
I mean, I looked at it, and it's just wild.
Didn't they do it for some of the 2D shooters too?
Yeah.
Because when I ended up making a Superman level, which I did basically where you're coming through on a 2D plane shooting enemies, and it was way short. Like I got all the way to the end, I'm like, what? Oh, and I'm like, I bet they use a sequencer. I'm like,
Well,
God damn it.
There's teleporters. There's a bunch of different stuff that you can do. Very, very subtle things that they.
Yeah.
With the sequencer, you can throw a bunch of cameras and stuff on there, and so you can get to a certain part, just trigger the thing, and it switches over to a camera. And because we're so used to watching stuff like TV, quick jump cuts and stuff, for whatever reason, our brains just kind of take it.
Yeah.
And so
take it.
And we just don't process the fact that there's been a sudden cut because you jump right back into playing again.
Yeah.
So they do some of that stuff.
Yeah,
But
they did a lot of awesome work I thought with this one. This game is awesome.
it is so much better than the first one.
Yeah.
And the first one was good, and I really liked it. But I think the first one was great because of the potential of what the community could do.
Yeah.
Versus not necessarily what was in the single player, which was kind of frustrating toward the end. It was just really. I mean, there's
spinning circle with all the
there's
the
no way in
zapping
hell I
parts.
would ever ace that level.
I
Ever.
did though.
I did.
Yeah, I have a platinum in that.
God.
I have a platinum in that, but
That's-
I
drove me
aced
crazy.
the level. Too.
I am very, very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I'm
was
in
one.
awe of both of you.
I
that
did
was-
it blindfolded.
That was the one
I jumped
where.
into the game like the Matrix, and I controlled Sackboy, and he went through the thing, and then it exploded. And
Man, if you
then
could slow down time in that game, that'd make that part so much easier. Yeah.
you should be able to do some of that stuff with at least the illusion of it with Create.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's-
Well, if you turn on anti-gravity, I mean, you can do whatever you make.
You
it
can there's the tweakers that you can use in the like global tweakers and stuff. So
Yeah.
you can actually set it up so you can do Matrix style moments where you
Yeah.
know, and you can record your voice going.
Yeah, I know. That's
is
awesome.
amazing.
Like
That
I
was a
really,
very
really,
smart
I
move.
really dug that you can put your own voice in it.
Also,
Yes,
my shoes were on fire when I was playing that level.
but I didn't care. So you're blindfolded, your shoes were on fire.
Yep, and I aced that level, and this was also while I was beating Deep Blue at a game of chess.
Wow.
And Kasparov was just chilling over here crying the entire time
Yes.
because he couldn't even handle it.
Yeah.
And you did it with
And
the
Bobby
move.
Fischer was over
What?
there.
And you did it with the move.
Yeah, strapped
Got
to
way
my.
ahead and used the move.
It was strapped to my thigh.
You just clinched and it was like, poof, done. All right.
Also,
so, yeah.
I finished Pi. What?
The level. Yeah.
So yeah, Little Big Planet 2, really good.
Yes, very good.
You recommend it?
Yeah, highly.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can play as much of that game as I played.
Yeah.
and
Did you
still
hate it
be-
by the end, or were you still okay with it?
Nope,
Okay.
Still loved it.
Yeah.
There's just something about that game that's, I can't speak for any of the QA guys or Media Molecule, but I get the distinct impression that they were not sick of it by the time it was over, and I'm sure they played many times more than I did.
Yeah.
So, it's just a really, I mean, it's very charming, but the jump from the first game to the second one in terms of what you get in single player, even if you never touch the create stuff, even if, which is stupid because there's going to be amazing shit. Like
Even if you can't create, you should get it and then go online and see what people are doing. 'Cause
exactly.
I mean, people were so good at number 1. Number 2 is going to be like even the beta.
The beta was amazing.
I know, right? Like
People
being
were-
Windows XP and
Yep.
then a 3D flight simulator. Like
Yep.
holy shit,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, you can the whole Top Gun thing. And what's crazy is that after going through the game for as long as I did, I can totally go, oh yeah, I know they did that. I know they did that.
That's
And
impressive.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
very
could never do
weird, like a very there's something about that game, and just because it boils everything down to the most basic way of building a game. Any game, not just a platformer, but there are basic logic things that are in place that game does, and once you sort of learn those, it changes the way you see all video games. You're like, oh, this isn't Little Big Planet, but I'll bet you they could do it, kind of like that. So yeah, it was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's jump into reader mail.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Little Big Planet questions. Most are ones we can fire out pretty quick. Tom P. in South Elgin, Illinois. I know there. Been there. We used to go to the Steam Festival there. They used to do
Steam Festival.
Yeah, like Steam trains and stuff. They did like did a big thing. Can someone suggest LBP DLC packs that I should download to have ready for the number 2? I say Metal
Metal Gear
Gear.
Solid,
Metal Gear is
for sure.
awesome. Metal Gear is so good. And you get the Paintinator that you can then use in all your
Yeah.
stuff. And those levels were great too.
I think that's probably the only one you need. There's
Yeah.
so much stuff added to the second one that kind of folds in a lot of the stuff that was in the DLC.
Water
So,
comes
exactly.
in.
Yeah.
I would buy there's a lot of cool costumes, the Marvel ones, the Ghostbuster
true.
ones. I
Yeah.
liked all those, and those would carry over. That'd be cool to have.
And there, I guess, are like pre-order bonuses too for costumes and.
Yeah, you can get Clue or whatever from Tron if you go to
That's awesome.
GameStop. Yeah.
Hey, a question for you guys. The things that sort of changed the way the game was played, like the Paintinator and the water pack in the original, if someone just buys Little Big Planet 2, they still have access to all of that.
No, you wouldn't
No.
have, not the Paintinator. The
They
Paintinator
don't?
you don't have, yeah. Because what happened is I bought Paintinator on retail, and then I was playing my debug, and it showed up that I had bought it, so I'd click
Yeah.
on it and it goes, oh, wait, you don't have this pack, you can't use this. So all my Metal Gear stuff was
interesting.
there, but it was locked out. Because it knew in its head that I had it, but I didn't have that content on my debug system.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can pull in your save from LBP1, and it brings in a lot.
Then it
of
would
that
bring in
content.
everything, yeah.
So,
But you would have actually had to buy that.
But there is the Creatinator, so that thing essentially is
It is
the
pretty much
Paintinator
the
and a
Paintinator.
bazillion times more. You can make anything with that thing. You can
Yeah.
literally fire anything you can make. So and you
Yeah.
can tweak all that stuff and yeah. So yeah.
Sam.
Yes.
We were talking about how much we like single player more in number 2.
Yeah.
Charlie Gadsden writes in, he says, I've noticed that in videos in comparing Little Big Planet 1 to 2, that 2 seems to be darker atmospherically. I think it's more, I don't think it's darker as much as it is more diverse. There's more going on. Every world feels, I thought, really unique.
Yes,
Like, and I mean,
very
that can be
much so.
said about the first one too in a way.
Yeah.
But this one, like, turns on its head. Like, you come in, you meet the person who's in charge of that world, and then you go off on there, like, there's Cake, or it's Avaton, or, the...
Avalon?
Yes, thank you. Avalon Centrifuges.
Centrifuge.
Super, Clean Crystal Fortress of Solitude world. Like,
Yep.
they had a whole bunch of cool stuff going on there.
Yeah. No. There are some darker bits. I
Oh
guess.
yeah, I think the cosmos at the end there's like you're in a war,
Ah,
like, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
The end level's called the cosmos.
No, but
It's
then
dark.
you're talking about, now I know that there's going to be a war at the end. I thought it was
No,
going to be
he's-
all happy sunshine
in
and
the
bunnies.
second level, they make it clear from the very beginning that you're recruiting people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're never
For
even
the
gonna play it, are you,
Alliance.
X-Bot? Go play some StarCraft.
I will play StarCraft.
I know you
but you heard the curse. You
Oh,
can't-
you need to reread
no.
it.
It's coming back out. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's definitely, I would say there's darker tones to it because Victoria stuff is a little bit. I don't know. Parts of the game kind of depressed me a little.
Yeah.
Not
Oh, really?
you know.
Well, okay, yeah. Notepad guy, Clive.
Exactly.
Clive's whole bit
Poor
is.
Clive.
Yeah. And then the.
Oh boy.
I love Clive.
Yeah.
I love Clive. He was great.
Well, it's one of the levels. I think the first level where you meet him is called the doleful refrain of Clive Hanforth. I think.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it? Yeah. So that's awesome.
I like Professor, what's his name? Higginbottom or Higgum?
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
his pies for eyes.
Yep.
Anything he says is brilliant in that game. It's so brilliant.
And there's Eve's Asylum. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit,
I think it's more diverse is all I really think it
Absolutely,
is. I don't think
yes.
it's a dark game. I think it's
No,
just
no,
this
no,
time
no,
they
no.
went somewhere and did something and gave you characters and there's a story and a narrative and this is what's happening. And plus, there's something called the Negativitron, fucking up the universe. Things are going to be dark. Scuba Owl wants to know, I know you're supposed to be able to mess with Sackboy's gravity and essentially play levels with true Super Mario Brothers speed and responsiveness. Have any of you seen this sort of thing in action? For sure in the beta, but not like in the actual game, like single player, they're not changing that. That's
No,
totally a
it's
thing
pretty
where
sad.
you'd go in and go to the world and tweak the gravity and bring it down so that you're jumping really hard kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go the
But even-
opposite in some places and you have the anti-gravity where you're jumping crazy.
Yes. I guess changing the gravity doesn't really change the responsiveness. So I want to make that kind of clear because it's not. You're not going to get a more agile Sackboy or Sackboy
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
It's just going to be a different feel to everything. But I have to admit, Did you notice that it felt a little bit more, I guess, responsive than the first game? Did you feel like the jumps were any different?
It's
to you, or
hard to
no?
say because I was one of the people who never really had a big problem with that. Like that was like I always played it. I was like, oh, this is how Little Big Planet controls. And so I, especially acing things, got very used to jumping and in air correcting where I was going.
Yes.
So I felt like I ran through and ace things faster. Like I'm down now to the final 3 levels I need to ace, and they are driving me mad because they're all at the end and I'm having tough
Did you
times
ace
with.
the final level?
Nope. That's one that's giving me trouble because like you have to be
You'll
so
get it.
precise.
Yeah.
You have to be so precise at that very last thing. The very last thing is what's got me.
We'll talk after
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
And then on top of that, remember too, they're doing the whole level links this time.
Yes.
So you'll get to what should be the end of the effing level, and then
Nope,
nope,
it's just-
go
yeah,
again,
yep.
and then you have to do it all together. Like 2 levels back to back, you have to ace. Damn it.
Programming note, Greg.
Yeah.
We have now reached an hour of programming.
Okay, I know you said we've gone too long lately, so
Yes.
I'll try to dive
That's
back.
just my opinion, though.
Colin has fun.
I would go longer. I don't care.
Well, there you go, everybody. Now we know who to hate.
Man.
Chad wants to know, Sam, what's your favorite change from Little Big Planet 1 to Little Big Planet 2?
I think honestly, it's the visual look of everything. It's just
Yeah,
because
they
it
have
is
that nice
so different.
sheen. It's got that very crisp look to it, yeah.
And the first time when they finally implemented the whole dissolve effect,
Uh-huh.
when you throw something at an enemy and it turns them into smoke, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
an exact replica of what they used to look like when they were a physical object, and then the smoke kind of goes like. It's such a cool effect. It's so
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
looking.
right.
But yeah, there's a ton of like behind the scenes stuff that they're doing to like add. There's like I think it's triple buffering in it, so there's no screen tearing, right? That you saw.
Oh, I didn't see any.
No,
No,
yeah,
no, no.
it's very, very smooth, locked at 30 frames a second. So
Yeah.
I think it's the technical upgrades, just because there's so much, and once you kind of peek behind the curtain and see how much they've done, that's definitely it. I mean, there's so much more variety in terms of gameplay and
Yeah.
stuff, because you're riding on things and you're, interacting with a lot more of the level. But yeah, visually it just looks really cool.
I think my favorite thing is the changes to create mode, right? Like I still, in my review, one of the reasons I knock it in a way is that it's still very cumbersome. You still have to really get in there.
Absolutely.
Like you have to dedicate a lot of time to getting good at it. But
Like I said, like 50 hours probably
Yeah,
before I
right.
was really like comfortable and I knew what I was doing with everything.
But
So
the
that's
rewards of
ridiculous.
that are amazing. Like what you saw in the beta, even in the actual levels, doing the 2D B shooter levels, I love. Like I can't wait for more people just to take that and do more of that. Just make more shoot 'em ups. That'd be awesome because that stuff was so great. Yeah. So definitely that, and I like the community aspect. I like LBP.me. It's a
Yes.
website. to
That's
go
a,
to.
that's a really good point. Too.
Yeah,
That
you can
was-
queue up all your levels. You can queue up the 2 new Game Over Greggy ones there. There you go.
There you go.
Cheap plug.
Get the trophies.
We'll
You're
do
such
one
a
more Little
whore.
Big Planet before we get to something else so Ryan doesn't bite me in the face. Don't bite me in the face!
No problem.
Oh, okay, here you go. This one comes from Nathan Savage. How hard do you think it's going to be to platinum Little Big Planet 2? The one that catches him off guard is, looks hard to place in the top 25% of players online. You have to, on the online scoreboard, you have to be in the top 25 of
Yeah.
one of those levels.
I would say get it early.
Top
that's for sure.
25 or 25?
25%. Sorry.
Yeah, 20. I actually think it's easier than the first game. Do you?
No.
You don't?
I thought. Well, I mean, I think they lessened. It's more of a time suck, I think, than the first
Yes.
one, because the first one was totally, I'm going to put up a level and then I'm going to talk about it somewhere or heart for heart or something like that, because that's where the catch was.
Yeah.
And this time around, they're saying, all right, we'll take that restriction off, but you have to play 250 is it 250?
That's right.
You have to
Yeah.
review 250.
No, yeah.
You have to review 250 community levels. Put in 24 hours of active create mode, like where you can't just leave it on and leave the stick.
No,
you
you've
have
gotta be doing
You have to be
stuff.
doing stuff and
Yeah.
using your poppet, because like that's the part where it's like, man, I don't know if I'll ever platinum this. Not because
Yeah.
I don't love Little Big Planet, but just because I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the pin system's great, but it shows you how long you've put into each one of those things, which is cool.
Exactly.
But then you go back and you're like, I've been creating a lot. Shit. I've barely put in
Done-
the 720
exactly.
minutes in. It's like, God damn it.
If you guys haven't read the review yet, there are pins now in there too, which are sort of like sub trophies.
They're
There's
like
a lot
in-game
of-
trophies. You can put them on your profile to show them off to people when they see you online.
I think that's going to be sort of the whole like the community side of things. If you can leverage the fact that you can do that, you can see what your friends are playing and you see what you can connect to what they're doing rather than sort of jumping into the pool by yourself.
That's huge.
Which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense.
And you can go into your community page. Like when you pop into Little Big Planet, you go over to the community page. You can change what's showing up.
Exactly.
So
There's
I can say,
filters
you
that
know
you
what?
can use.
I don't want to see what Media Molecule picks, even though that's cool.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see most recent thing. I want to see what my friends like. So that way, if Sam and Colin are huge into playing it, I can see what they've been doing, what they've been hardening. Jump in, play that, do that. That's cool.
Yep.
And also locally, you can both get trophies, which is huge.
I did not know that.
Yes, this is
This is the first game to do that. Then
I know.
There's not another game.
I tested it expecting to fail, but it doesn't. The catch is right that like I was playing. Steimer came on and played, and she put in her profile. We earned some trophies. Popped back out, went to her profile, logged in as her,
Checked.
and then checked they weren't there. What you do is you go into Little Big Planet, and then it just starts popping them up because it's saving it to her
Okay, I see.
profile. That's offline or whatever. Then you come on and it's got no. So play with somebody else
That's
and then
awesome.
recover.
That is fantastic.
That's a nice
great.
workaround.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did.
At least there's something there.
Also, it sounds like for that 25% thing or whatever, that just encourages early adopters. So just
Totally. Yeah,
the
exactly
sooner
right.
you get the game and get
That's
on
what
it,
I'm hoping. I have a whole. As soon as you have to have 50 people on the scoreboard. So like all my debug levels right now are like it's 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
get some people on there and suck it up. Everybody get on there and be terrible.
Oh, did you see my name on anything? When
Nope.
it was okay.
I did not.
Yeah,
I'll look
most
for
of the
you
time it
soon.
was offline, and the servers I don't think came online until after we'd like finally wrapped
Yeah.
on the book.
Were you
so-
playing on your retail profile?
Yep.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I got the platinum.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what,
that's
Greg?
awesome.
I just want to take that zipper and just pull it down.
If you need a reference to that one,
Hey.
I don't.
that is awesome.
I don't wear T-shirts for games until I know they're good. So I'm now wearing, for the first time ever, my Sackboy T-shirt from PAX. And it's
I wonder what's inside.
It's just a brown shirt with a giant zipper on it.
A
So
little
he's
logo
not
on
talking about my fly, even though I'm sure it
I wonder if
was.
there's some candy in there.
Some candy.
Some
No wonder
delicious
this clown
candy.
died. His lungs are filled with candy. Mr. Clements.
All right, yes.
Tony Mathers writes in with a question for you.
I'm ready.
What is wrong with all the Final Fantasy characters, specifically those in Dissidia? I just started and played half of the initial scenarios, and they act like interchangeable emo bitches. I don't remember FFVI or Chrono Trigger being this pretentious.
True.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Touche.
to be fair, I didn't think that Dissidia's story, the individual characters, that's not where the strength was. I think that the overarching story of like how all these characters are coming together and then the confrontation they get into, that to me that's more interesting. And I totally agree. I mean, the writing isn't like super good or anything, but that game has way more to offer than just the emotions of the whiny characters.
Yeah,
They get stronger. Like they're all supposed to be kind of like disillusioned at the beginning of the game, and if you keep playing different characters and start from their beginning story, you'll keep saying the sort of same emotional arc where they're all like, oh my god, this sucks. So like we're losing, and then they get their crystal, and then they like become badass. The only person that stays badass through the entire thing, in my opinion, is the Warrior of Light. Because he is like the fucking John Wayne of the Final Fantasy universe. It is awesome.
If he had business cards, he'd put that on there.
I will never
The
forget.
John Wayne. of
fucking
the-
John Wayne.
He just has this awesome. I still remember this awesome conversation he has with like the Ultimacia, the sorceress, and she's like going through her evil monologue, and she's like, I'm gonna tear the world apart. Time will stand still. You'll never know. And his response is, "Are you done talking?" it's so awesome, and I'm just like, you are amazing.
Quick one here from
Yes.
Hell's Supernova. I'm only a couple trophies away from the very first platinum. It's going to be Heavy Rain, but the happy birthday trophy won't unlock. I've played through the game 7 times, and I'm really scared. Help me. I of course made up that ending, but yes, I had this exact same problem for some reason. Happy Birthday is that first trophy you could get, really, where you're setting the table, getting ready for the birthday party.
yeah,
you have to do that all perfectly.
Yeah.
I did that too. That was the last trophy I needed, and it would not pop at all. And so what I ended up doing was going to I went to Christine's house, put in her PS3, and then I logged in as myself, put it in for the first time, and it didn't, it doesn't register any of your trophies till you sync. So I went and played through it, and that's how I got it. It popped there.
Yeah, for some reason that game has some sort of issue where I think it corrupts save games. So or something where it just doesn't work out. Because remember, were you playing the preview build when it came in a long time ago?
Yeah.
Honestly. They had a section where you had to download another save game file because if you used your save game, it wouldn't work. And I think that might have persisted into the actual retail.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I remember having trouble with the trophy when I was getting the platinum for that when you're running through the construction site.
Mm-hmm.
That one's really finicky. The last one I got though was the one where you're driving, because that one's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that one was a bitch too.
Is it? Am I the only one that got that the first time without a problem?
The driving one?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I destroyed that.
I think so.
I destroyed those people the first time I played that game. Because it's one of the few. It's one of the really. I was one of the few parts where you really have to be super agile.
Yeah, you need to be
over
ready
and over
to go.
again.
Yeah, and it goes on a long time.
I need to go back and play. Oh, that's why. I just remembered why I haven't played it with Move yet, because I never got a retail copy. I only have a debug one. I know when I have to go buy one.
I just picturing
imaginary fun bucks.
What's the main character's name again?
Ethan?
Ethan Mars.
Ethan Mars.
He hits a van. It turns out that's the van with all the nuns in it.
That'd be amazing.
Laser Hawks coming. Jared writes in and says, "Hey Greg, Colin, Clement, and Sam." He said, hey Greg, Colin, other name. Yeah. If you pick up one game in January, what would it be and why? Little Big Planet 2, Dead Space 2, Mass Effect 2, ...
God, that's a hard question.
We can't
really
talk about
hard
Dead Space, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you could say if you wanted to pick that one, I wouldn't. I don't think that's fine. I don't think
anyone's going to object to that. Really.
No, I mean,
pretty
people
choice.
are well prepared that I've played the game 2.5 times already and still need the hardcore playthrough. And yeah, I think people get that we're enjoying it.
But do you like it?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, but
I remember I played through Naughty Bear 7 times. So
Okay, I have a quick question for you. Well, Cons, can you let that steep for a second?
Well, everybody's got to answer that question.
Yeah.
So
my question for you is, for someone like me who is getting intrigued because everybody's talking about how much they're enjoying it so far, do I have to play the first one all the way through?
No, you don't. I mean,
Really, though?
it sums
You
up
should.
everything.
Because sometimes
anyway,
people
right?
say
well,
that.
you can watch the video right now. We have an IGN.com video in the preview I posted today. Hint, hint. That you can go and click, and it summarizes the entire story, including extraction, including all the stuff that you've missed up until the beginning of Dead Space.
Actually, you know what?
Is it one of our in 5 minutes videos?
No, it's produced by EA. It's narrated by Altman.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy who started Unitology.
I was gonna say something, but I don't know if I'm even allowed to say.
Yeah, probably not. If you're questioning that, don't worry about it. Err on the side of reason on that part. But I don't think so. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're gonna miss little nods and little things here and there, and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Always.
But I think you'd get you'd be fine. You'd still get the game.
You should still play the first one.
Yeah,
The first one's fantastic.
I mean, and that's the thing too. You were scared of the first one. I don't know if that's going to go away with the second one.
The second one.
Let's not weigh in just on any of that yet.
I am a giant wuss, and that game is very scary.
Yeah.
But they said, and this is true, that they wanted to change the flow of the game so there wasn't so much constant dread, so that you have moments where it's like, okay, there's a little tiny breather, everything's kind of decent here, and then you have moments of big combat, and then you have moments of just tons of tension. So it's different.
There's a mix.
I like the more. I'll just say this. I like the more seamless flow of the game.
Okay.
So
Okay.
It's much more seamless than I think. Wouldn't you agree?
From the 2 chapters I've previewed, I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, anybody got answers yet? What do you? What would you buy? One game in January, Sam.
I think no matter which one you get, you're going to be happy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's honestly they're all a tie for me right now.
Okay. Colin, what would you pick?
I'm not compelled by Little Big Planet, but I know people love it. I would say Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, there's a lot to do there. Clements, what do you got for me?
Little Big Planet.
Okay, and I would say not on the list, and this is just because I'm a fanboy and I'm not reviewing it, so I'm allowed to say I'm a fanboy. DC Universe Online. I'm gonna get that. I'm taking days off work to play that.
Really?
Well, first off, this is a story that I've been sitting on, and I might as well do it now. I'm getting all ahead of myself here. We have other DC Universe questions here. I'll be quick as I can. I know I'm the biggest fan here. Obviously, not reviewing it. Huge fan. Somebody asked who's reviewing it in one of the questions here. I'm not going to give you any credit because I don't feel like finding it. There it is. Austin 1892387 wrote into beyond@ign.com and was wondering who was reviewing it and when's it going up. Nick Colin is reviewing it. He's our MMO editor. He knows MMOs better than anybody. I know shit about MMOs, so I first off shouldn't be reviewing MMOs based on that. And the review will be going up. We're doing one of the reviews in progress. I don't know if you ever follow these for the giant games where you need forever to play, and an MMO where you need millions of people to play. they put them up saying updating here and there. There won't be a score for quite a while, but there'll be updates there. Nick's going to be playing primarily on PC, putting up the review in progress there. He'll be copying it to PS3. I'll be playing PS3 nonstop, so I will be chiming in with what I'm seeing, little issues like that. But Nick's the official reviewer. I'm just helping him out, giving him some stuff, so he doesn't have to try to play 2 MMOs on 2 different systems at the same time with 6 different kinds of characters.
You can't share the account, right? Or can you?
What do you mean?
Between PC and PS3?
No, you can't do that. No,
That's a shame. It's a real shame. It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's hard to do. But here's the thing about why I'm so excited for DC Universe. First off, I'm a huge comic book nerd. As many people know from listening to the shows, I went to parochial school, Catholic school, my entire life up until college, which explains why I still can't dress myself because I wore uniforms, every day of my life up until college. When I went to school, first day of college and the entire year. This is Greg Miller at college. Blue hair, the black rimmed glasses. Red Converse, jean shorts, wrestling t-shirts with a Hawaiian shirt over the top.
That's brutal.
Hawaiian shirt every day. Shit you not. Every day.
That's pretty brutal.
I was an eyesore, but I was one of the most known people on that campus.
Let me ask you this: because I went to Catholic school for a little while, did you do the fake tuck with your shirt? Because that was that's the one thing I brought away from me from Catholic school was like rolling your shirt up.
Yeah, people do that all the time. Yeah,
I love doing that.
However, Catholic school, you have religion class like a lot, and this isn't theology where you're studying in high school. Sure it is, but like in grade school, it's like, oh, Jesus is this, and this is why he's awesome. Yep. So I'll never forget one day we were walking home, me and a friend, and we're talking about heaven and what we thought heaven would be, and he asked me, so what do you think heaven would actually be like? And I said, I think heaven's different for every person, right? Because if let's say your dad died and your mom got remarried, you can't go to heaven and have this weird love triangle and be all effed up, right? Mm-hmm. So each one of those people would have everybody they ever loved there who would be cognizant, but they're broken off. It's multiple universe kind of thing.
It's a very deep
this wasn't first grade. Don't get me wrong. I'm on in the way.
Okay,
I'm on
gotcha.
Again, all my life. Maybe 7th grade, 8th grade, I'm talking to him. And so he's like, oh, so what would yours be? And I said, and I shit you not, I would live in Metropolis and I would have superpowers. So this game is legitimately my version of heaven. And it has a platinum trophy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm taking work off. I already know the 6 I've written out the 6 characters I'm making. I am ready to load them up and start playing through.
Are you gonna? So here's the real question: are you gonna play them as that role?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Are you going to role play as those characters as you're playing them in the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not going to be Greg Miller. You're going to be each one of those.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was awesome. That I love that it's not. I mean, I know it's an MMO, but it's tied into like you can make your own characters.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite part of the beta. Is I could just go, I could fly around, and nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
And it was
your name doesn't even pop up. It's your superhero name. It's not like Game Over Greggy over your head.
Nope. Yeah.
Your version of Metropolis should be the Superman 64 one. So you
green fog rings everywhere.
You can't see 5 feet ahead of you.
That's hell. So that's hell.
That's hell. One quick one from Brendan. He writes in, I don't know if he caught last week's show, but he says, hey guys, just wondering if you know there'll be DC Universe guilds like World of Warcraft. Yes, there are. There's leagues you can form up in Brendan. Again, Podcast Beyond listeners, I will be into the game early. I will be making a Beyond guild for everybody to join up on. I'm not sure how it works. I think I'll have to make a villain one and a hero one. I'm playing through as a hero the first time, so there'll be a hero one right away. Somebody else wants to make a villain one, we can. Thursday's the show. I'll have information there for sure, but if you want to keep checking my IGN, like my IGN profile page or my Twitter, Game Over Greggy, we'll have information up there about how to join up with us and have a official Beyond guild ready to go. So there you go. Big week next week. Very excited. Can't wait. What do we got here now? Oh, here. Choletta writes in, says, hello, Ryan, Colin, Greg, and maybe Jim or Hillary. No, it's Ambition.
No.
Caught you off guard
Sorry
with
to
that
disappoint.
I sometimes get mad at the ignorant comments people make on IGN reviews. How are you not getting mad about it? Choletta, I put up the Little Big Planet 2 review if you didn't notice. We talked about that for just a brief second of the show. Gave it a 9.0, which is less than the 9.5 Chris Roper gave the original one. I still think that Little Big Planet 2 is a better game than the original one. However, again, the create mode stuff is still a problem for me. There was, little drawbacks here and there. And it's also 2 years later. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't have that impact anymore. Games don't exist in a vacuum. We have to compare them to what's happening. Blah, blah, blah. Little Big Planet 2 is an awesome game. You should still get it. Don't worry about that. However, as soon as the 9.0 went up, my head was being called for. I was an Xbot. Microsoft had paid me off. Fuck IGN. The way we get past those comments is by reading them aloud to one another and laughing at how stupid people are. People can be so dumb. Like, that review got a gajillion hits, I think is what Clements counted it at.
Gajillion, yeah. I had an abacus.
Abacus, yeah, we're on the same page.
That's one.
A gajillion of mathematicians in the van just decided on
There's like 200, 300 comments on it, so the very vocal minority is the ones who are very upset. And I will give you this, and I noticed it on your review yesterday too of your ball breaking game. Also, thank you so much, Beyond listeners and fans, for starting to be voices of reasons in those threads. So many people chime in now and say, "Good work, really enjoyed the review," or start saying, "Don't be an idiot," blah blah blah. This is why I saw in your review yesterday lots of "Congratulations, Colin, great review. You're doing great on the editorial." So I was like, yes, I like to see people there.
Yeah, be the voice of the Beyond listeners are awesome. They're great. We interact with them on Twitter. We interact with them on Facebook, etc. And
in real life.
Yeah, in real life, we met them. We call them every once in a while. They're great. So be the voice of reason on those reviews. We need you guys. Even if you don't agree with the score, I think you guys know us well enough to know that we're fair and we're thorough and we're knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And you can trust us.
All right. We have 2 questions
Except
left.
Greg.
Is that okay? Of course. Next spot.
Dude.
Also, the
You
score
go
does
ahead.
not matter.
With your Microsoft Money hat.
Text,
Yeah,
please.
exactly. No one
Please read
reads
the review
text.
itself.
Yeah, I hate that.
We should just get rid of scores.
I would love it. I really would.
That'd be nice. Oh, speaking of which, too, a lot of people
Never
had
gonna happen, though.
a lot of questions came in about, can I use my downloadable content for Little Big Planet? That's in the review, and even if it wasn't, there's an FAQ, Little Big Planet 2 FAQ on IGN.com. That
You better
answers those
start
questions.
reading.
Here we go.
You better watch out. You better not cry.
That's a sequel.
Matt writes in for the
Better
entire
start
group.
reading, I'll tell you why.
What's up, Matt?
Do you think it's too
Colin
late
is-
to get a PSP? With all the recent news about a PSP 2 and a DS, 3DS,
You're
is
like
even
4
worse.
years too late.
Yes.
I absolutely not. Go for it.
There's an awesome library there.
Yeah,
You just have to know what you're getting into.
I was looking at the there was a press release that GameFly sent out.
Yeah.
There was like the top 10 list, and I looked at the top 10 PSP games for 2010,
Yeah.
and they were all I think in 2010. There's a ton of really good games that came out last year. It's just that they were so spaced out that we didn't really notice them.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was probably only 10, but
Yeah, exactly.
that's still
Slow roll. Valkyria, Metal Gear, God of War.
Yep.
Yeah, there was.
But if you're
awesome
looking
stuff.
Persona,
Birth by Sleep.
Birth by
Persona.
Sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a ton of games that came out that were really good last year, and there's a ton of really good PSP
White Knight Chronicles.
If you're if you're living by Colin predictions,
Yeah.
then the PSP 2 comes out in October.
Yeah.
So you still have pretty much a whole year before you're gonna get that going. No guarantee on how it's gonna work playing old games and stuff.
backwards compatibility is still
It's-
something that's very much up in
If
the
you
air.
were trying to dive in right now, I would buy a 3000.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
just buy and
Yeah,
get
yeah.
a,
Make
get
sure
a,
you have
exactly
UMD.
what
get
I
a
would
14 gigabyte stick, which you can get for
Buy
like,
a
what,
3000.
$70 now. Not even that much.
Yeah.
And
do.
then,
Buy Dissidia,
There you go.
and that's all you need.
It'll last you until the PSP
There's a
2
lot.
comes
I mean,
out.
there's a lot of great games. I think I kind of stopped playing PSP, but back in the day, like I loved like Castlevania X and
Oh, yeah,
Mega Man.
Dracula X
Yeah,
Chronicles.
that game was awesome because it's Symphony of the Night's built into that game, which is sweet. Mega Man Powered Up's awesome.
Yeah, there's great stuff, man.
What's that game? Jean
Luminous.
d'Arc.
Yeah.
Luminous.
John Dark
Even
is
playing Tetris yesterday, I was like, man, I could go for more Luminous.
Yep.
That's what I want.
But I do have spoilers that there will be backwards compatibility with the PSP 2. What you'll do is you'll take your UMDs and
yeah.
you'll tape them to the back.
Come on,
and
man.
they'll be,
Final question of the week
touchpad.
goes to Jonathan. Jonathan says, in your last episode, you said you were embargoed from talking about Little Big Planet 2 and Dead Space. What exactly would happen if you broke an embargo?
dead.
Jonathan, we would get a lot of angry phone calls. There'd be a lot of angry phone calls.
Wait a minute. There's something on the wing.
A lot of angry phone calls, and then that would be followed up with probably, slaps on the wrist kind of thing, where next time around we wouldn't get builds early, we could say goodbye to exclusives, stuff like that. That's generally how it happens as far as that. And there's room for the occasional. Oh crap!
Sometimes sometimes that happens.
your
and
video
it was not
goes live
intentional.
early. One of our competitors pushed the Uncharted video stuff live a few hours early, and Sony was like, "Oh, you got to take that down." They're like, "We're sorry, we didn't mean to," and then it was over. You can't help some of that stuff. But then there are the when's the review embargo? Fuck that. Yeah, you know what I mean, people do that all the time. It's
Yeah, in Europe.
Not
exactly.
us.
Dicks. God
Well, that's
damn,
it,
I
right?
hate
It's
those.
usually smaller sites who are just like,
Yep.
we need to make a name, we need to be the first review, we need to try to get as many clicks as we can. So.
Which is awesome because that's like, I don't know how it works over there because apparently they don't care because it happens all the goddamn time. But yeah, if you were to do that here, then that would be a one-way ticket to never getting stuff from those
Exactly,
guys again.
blackball. You'd be done.
Yep.
So
If you have a long-standing relationship and you screw up, then most of them are pretty cool with going, oh yeah, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
It happens.
because you fix the
A
situation
legitimate,
too.
exactly. Yeah, oh yeah. You don't just leave it up.
Well, I don't know what happened. Weird.
Well, sorry.
It's already out there, right?
Site's broken now. Oh well.
All
Can
right.
I get this game now?
Remember, if you
I'll
want to
need
be a
6
part
copies.
of the show, beyond@ign.com. You can send in your call-in nicknames there. Next week will be the last name dropping call-in thing. So try to get all your picks in.
Oh, yeah.
Don't send in multiple ones through an email. Pick one. Send one in. All right. Don't be a jerk.
I have a couple notes before we stop. I don't know if we're going to pick a winner for Castlevania. Did
Already done. That's on the list
I do
right
want to say this. When we do contests or whatever, do not email us after the first day the podcast has gone up.
True.
Because, we got, I appreciate
I got one today. I got done picking the reader mail and I refreshed the mailbox and there was 2 more people trying to guess it on the Thursday. 1 week later.
I appreciate that people want to submit and stuff like that, but rest assured that an hour after the show went up, we got 10 answers that were right already.
Yeah.
So you're wasting your time. Don't do that. And I appreciate that many people found the answer to the Castlevania 3 trivia question by looking at my fact that I wrote when I was in 11th grade.
Cute.
And
What was the answer? What was the question was?
So the question was, what was in the first stage of Castlevania 3 on NES? You go through a destroyed village. That's the first stage, and what was it called?
the answer was?
Warakia.
Okay.
So
On the line was Castlevania, Lord of Shadows, limited edition, collector's edition, one of the two, I forget how they call it. And the winner was none other than Courtney Neely. Long time Beyond
congratulations.
listener. She's written it a bunch of times. It should be there. I haven't seen the email, so make sure you email us back. Email us back with a photo in the box we'll put up in the
wait, Courtney Neely. I think it's a guy.
Really?
I thought
You
so.
poor bastard.
And he I think posted something on Facebook that tagged us into it.
Oh,
saying,
well,
and I think he got it because he took a picture of it.
Oh, all right. Well,
nice.
then. You should probably do it and send it to IGN or Beyond at IGN, not go to Facebook.
And also, we should probably acknowledge we have some new members of
Yeah,
the
we have
Beyond Wall.
two new Beyond Wall photos were added. First up is none other than Andrew Goldfarb. Andrew is a longtime listener. He was in an episode of 30 Rock as an extra, which I find interesting. And he also is the one who sent me the Walking Dead plushie doll that's not on my desk that I love very much for Christmas. However, even making Andrew's story better is that he's out in NYC, and none other than former IGN editor Craig Harris held a meet and greet over at the Nintendo store. Andrew went there in his Beyond shirt that he bought off the Cafe Press link we sometimes put up, and he went as far as to say, I don't like the black shirt, I'm going to make it green. So he has a green Beyond shirt he's wearing here with a
Very
photo.
Christmassy.
Yeah, good for him. Very festive.
He's rocking a Beyond
Oh, I
shirt
mean
at Craig
holiday.
Harris's Nintendo meet and greet. So you gotta love that. Thank you, Andrew. Next up is Esteban Garza. Esteban bought the traditional Beyond shirt on black and then went out and got completely obliterated on New Year's. And he took this photo of all of his friends at the Texas A&M just obliterated. He says he doesn't remember this photo, and surprisingly, he didn't get a girl that night.
Oh.
That's a shocker.
Well, yeah, when you don't remember the photo that they're taking, usually it's hard to say that's going to
And
pan
also
out well.
the map. We have the new map.
Oh, right. Do we have a name on that one?
Yeah, that's the name.
I remember this. We got a few map submissions.
read the text. The text is funny.
Yeah, yeah. As everybody remembers, when we introduced the new state song, Washington Tacoma Robot, we got a few maps putting those states into our lovely United States of America. Chris Cetris here, he wrote in, said, Beyond. Due to recent political developments, I believe that this map accurately depicts the geographic makeup of the USA circa 2015. We got Washington, of course. Tacoma is up there in the corner.
Tacoma seceded.
Tacoma seceded, so it's up there near the top of Idaho here, touching Canada. And then Robot, as we said on the show,
Is in the four
made
corners.
up of the 4 corners of Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. So.
Yeah, I misspoke. I said Wyoming. My geography.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Robot USA.
So thank you all for your
great state of Robot.
submissions. Here's a quick. We got some quick things to give away before we get out of here. Like we said, Little Big Planet original DLC works in Little Big Planet 2. So your friend Thomas Peters writes in with 2 Pirates of the Caribbean DLC packs: CCHC EPBL 5HEN TJA8 KGBN D8DM. As we said on the show before, Dead Space Ignition, not a great game, but it gives you the hacker suit if you want to play Dead Space 2 with it. Bradley writes in with the Dead Space Ignition code 6AP5TABT QPQQ. Clements, I've missed you for the first time in forever. Take me home.
All right, buddy. I'm back. And just like the tradition dictates, I'm going to end the show with a song. We had a submission from Zandy. I love that name. I'm assuming Zandy is a guy, but Zandy is still a cool name.
No, still gonna pretend it's a girl.
Yeah, Courtney Neely is forever a girl until I see a photo of him
Yeah,
being
I
a
could be wrong, but I think it's a dude.
Zandy writes, hello there, Podcast Beyond crew. I only recently started listening to Beyond, but it's rapidly becoming one of my favorite podcasts.
Aww.
I'm currently living in the harsh wilderness of Guelph, Canada. Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Guelph? Guelph?
Guelph.
The Yukon territory.
Where I write songs under the name MIDI General.
Nice.
MIDI, not Mini.
MIDI, like the
MIDI.
MIDI file.
Like the file, yes. I just recently released an album that's available for free through my MySpace. That's myspace.com/MIDI-General, titled Apocalypse Bear. I love that name.
I dig it.
However,
I
this
definitely
song
dig
is
it.
brand new and is not available to the general public at this time. So therefore, we are presenting a world premiere exclusive of Zandy's newest song, Lamenting Dinosaur Planet.
Yes! Yes!
Thank you, Zandy. If you would like to submit a song of your band or just you singing a Wiley tune, please submit it to beyond@ign.com.
A Dr. Wiley tune.
A Dr. Wiley tune.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Zandy. I mainly just really wanted to play this for the title, Lamenting Dinosaur Planet.
It's a good song, though?
It's a fun song
Okay,
also.
cool.
Yes.
It is. Thank you, everyone, for sending things in. Beyond@ign.com to be part of the show. Follow me on Twitter at GameOverGreggy for updates on the DC Universe beta such. Rate us and plug us. Yes, we haven't done that in forever either. If you haven't rated us on iTunes yet, get over there and rate us. Come on, man.
Why not?
Follow IGN on Twitter at IGN. Follow Clements on Twitter at Pwom Cider.
I talk about JRPGs
And puppies.
girls.
You didn't
and
talk about
puppies.
puppies. Follow Colin at No Taxation. And then, Sam, are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Do you tweet?
Yeah, TPS editors.
Oh, okay.
It's everybody. I don't have my own.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah,
Of course, also go to Sam's site, TotalPlayStation.com.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you, yeah.
Get off your ass.
Yeah.
All right?
You can sit on your ass and go.
Actually, you don't need to get off your ass.
Being on your ass is the preferred method of visiting TotalPlayStation.com because it's going to knock you on your ass otherwise. It really won't do that, I promise. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
You filthy treacherous son of a- Funny.